We're back. Sorry about that. We had a technical difficulty.
My fat fingers slipped and hit a wrong button. It's on me.
But, let's try to get the flow back going now. I'm gonna try to pull up because we had a lot of comments I still need to react to. So let me pull those back up. Give me 1 second here. Where did we leave off, guys? I forgot.
I was getting ready to bitch about. Well, I wasn't bitching, but I was starting to.
He was rolling about how at the end of the day it's all entertainment.
What I was saying was, it's all entertainment. I'm not losing any sleep over the Cleveland Browns either way. You know, it's. I'm not. Our health and our household isn't better if they win more games. It's irrelevant at the end of the day. It's entertainment. Okay. And if you're somebody that gets that wrapped up in it, you're losing sleep and shit. You need to probably get a life. You know what I mean? And actually do something more with your time. So it's the fandom. You know what I mean? When we sit, that's why we do what we do, and we sit here and we have these conversations. It's that hope. You know what I mean? If you don't have that hope anymore, you've lost the fandom. That's what fandom is. It's always hanging on to your team, and hopefully one day next year or the year after they finally get it right. You know, if I go back to what Dan was saying, Dan, I'm probably just I'm 5 or 6 years older than Dan, probably just enough to remember how horrible his favorite team is, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You think the Browns are bad? The Buccaneers of the 80s and before that were horrible. I mean, they were a laughing stock of just. I used to watch NFL blooper videos. I used to get the VHSs, and it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they wore those old school uniforms. And at some point, they turned it around. They won a Super Bowl, and they've had a quality organization ever since. So at some point, it's going to get right in Cleveland. We're just hoping it's next year, or you know what I mean, or the year after, or something. So that's what sports is. That's what being a fan is. It's not like, oh my God, they're never going to get it right, and all this. If you think that way, you got to screw loose. I mean, it's just entertainment. You know what I mean? And I don't get that wrapped up in it. I don't do any of that shit. I watch it and I comment on it. You know why I comment on it? Which way I do? Because I pay for it. I pay a cable bill. I go out there and pay to go to games. I buy apparel. I can bitch if I want.
Hell yeah.
Does anybody care? No. My opinion's not that important. I can bitch, and doesn't mean anybody cares what I say, but that's what being a fan is. Imagine if we didn't do any of this. Imagine if people didn't do that. It would be boring.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can't let the shit get taken out of context. It's for fun. It's for entertainment. But that's what fandom is, man. Just always hoping. I mean, gosh darn it, I've lost faith in Ryan Day. I mean, and look, he finally pulled it off. You know what I mean? I was calling for that dude to be blown the hell out. I was fed up with not winning a national title. He got it done, and so that's what it's about. That's what it is, and that's what makes it fun. And you just don't like, they screw my team just because they're not winning. That's just, you're not a fan then.
Oh, I got the comments. He said, Rusty, please save that episode and file it away under the quote Shedeur Kool-Aid when you guys are complaining about Dion criticizing the entire Browns organization in Week 12. We can't figure out what quarterback we drafted the year after.
Who cares? That's the difference, though. Who gives a shit if he does? Again, this goes back to what I was just saying. I don't really care. Play the fucking episode 20 times. I don't care. I can say, and I'll say it again. It's just for here. It's for entertainment. We have fun with it. You know what I mean?
Here, I'll
Who
tell you
gives a
what.
shit? I don't give a fuck who's right or wrong. It's
Who has, who has
it's irritating, huh?
who has the fun with this? What's a higher?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, gosh darn.
No, wait. Hold on. Do you think Shedeur has a higher? What's more likely? We say let's say by New Year's of next year, Mike. You listen to Mike?
Yeah, I'm here.
By New Year's of next year, we say Shedeur is the franchise quarterback moving forward, or the Guardians will have a World Series. Which one's more likely?
That Shedeur Sanders is finding success.
Correct.
All right.
I would say that's more likely. I love my Cleveland baseball club. I always will, but like, it's just I know what it is with the baseball, and there are tangible reasons why I don't think the Cleveland baseball club is going to be successful. Tangible reasons.
But here, it's that same fandom that Dan hangs on to. It's okay. It's fine. That's what it is. That's what makes it great. If he didn't, it would be shitty. So
Right.
I can say, hey, let's rewind this. Let's play this next year when they don't win. When I won't even say that team, that the team formerly knows the Indians, when they don't win. Well, why would I do that? Who cares? Just so I can say I was right.
No, that's the whole point. It don't
Right.
matter.
Who gives a shit? It's sports.
He said comparing winning a World Series to quarterback you draft number 2 is being an actual starter. Wow. No, my whole point is if that could be the Shedeur Kool-Aid, then by your comments, I could say it's the Guardians Kool-Aid if they shit the bed
Right.
again next year.
My God, they want to. What the?
That's the whole point. Yeah.
You're not right about everything, Dan.
The Guards will continue to be mid with current owners. Yeah, they're mid, but it's trendy.
I just think I know it's easy to think that it's hard for me to see things from Dan's perspective in that just this balloon of the Browns can do no right. Like they've picked well. I mean, they have players still on the roster, in young up and coming players on the roster as well that they could find success with. We need a tweak to our run game. We have weapons on the offense still and if we do go back to Kevin Stefanski's system, the West Coast system, which is inherently quarterback friendly, I just don't. It's just shocking to me how there isn't more enthusiasm, I suppose. Like, I get it. You've been a fan longer than I have. I'm 29, you're 40 or what have you, Danny boy. But like, come on. Like, it's a new team every year. Just the last season, we won 11 games with Joe Flacco off the couch. It doesn't take a lot for a team to turn something around. And you look at the Commanders who were able to do it with Jaden Daniels. You look at the Texans that were able to do it with CJ Stroud. And even in smaller sample sizes with like a team like the Patriots with Drake May, they have the quarterback now that they can start like rebuilding. Michael Penix looks like he might be working out in Atlanta. Like, I mean, Bryce Young even is starting to show signs of life, and like they started to get competitive at the end of the year. All it takes, and it doesn't matter what you have around him, is one good quarterback. That's it. Good quarterback and a like okay defense. I mean, the year that we almost beat the Chiefs, we had the 27th ranked defense, but you wouldn't have cared because at that time we had the best run game in the league and Baker was playing well. Like, it's all it takes is a good quarterback, and you can be competitive. You can go to the playoffs, or at least and it's been shown with the Browns, like they don't even need like top 10 quarterback play. They just need a competent guy back there. Joe Flacco wasn't like some star. Like, he wasn't like a revelation, but he was competent. And that at the end of the day, that's just what the Browns need. We just need competency.
Here, none of us are experts. We get up here to have fun. It's not going to be a pissy match. I'm not going to get a pissy match with anybody, and it's not going to. It's just, and none of us are.
I can pee 6 feet high without getting my shoes wet.
If we were all experts, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. We'd be running a gosh darn team making millions of dollars. You know what I mean? But we're not. We're just fans. We're just fans. That's
that
all
offer's
it is.
still on the table, though. I might.
Having fun. That's all it is. You know what I mean? It's just being fans. So,
Our resume
it's not. I'm right. You're wrong.
Our resume is out there. Owners of NFL teams, if you'd like to hire the three of us, though, be more than happy.
No, they wouldn't hire us three because they control what their media pundits say.
Yeah.
So all these goons we watch on TV, they're all on payroll. They're being told what to say. They would never hire people like us because they can't control what we say.
Goons. So, I love that word so much.
They are. They're goons.
They're goons. And they get out there and they tell lies that they don't even believe.
Oh no, we get to this one first. Hold on 1 second. I mean, Jimmy is a good owner. What do you say? Oh, I mean, Jimmy is a good owner. No, but at least he tries to make his team good. He said.
That's all you can ask for. Because if he didn't spend the money, we'd be saying, "Get this effing guy the hell out of here."
I mean, I kind of say that now, anyways. But
I get it. Yeah, I mean, but we're allowed to say it. We're allowed to say it. But hey, he spent again. It wasn't my 230.
Here, if he lets his coach do his job, finally, they'll probably see some success. But
would you rather have Jimmy Haslam or Mike Brown? Is the best way I could say it.
Oh, without a doubt, Jimmy Haslam.
Absolutely. You're about to lose T. Higgins. You're about to lose Trey Hendrickson, who just led the league in sacks because he doesn't want to fucking put his name on a check at the end of the day. Like, here.
I mean, they're padlocking the Gatorade machines down in Cincinnati.
I still can't believe that's right. I still can't. That doesn't even sound real. But
they're having garage sales for TVs just to make money.
That really happened. That's a real story.
You're having a fucking garage sale and you're an NFL franchise down there in Brimtucky. If I was Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow should get the hell out of town. Joe Burrow's never going to win in Cincinnati, and he's too good for Cincinnati. I think Joe Burrow's been successful with mediocre coaching and terrible ownership, cheap owner, because he's just that. I think he's that dude. He's always been that dude. He was that dude at Athens. I watched him at Athens in high school. So I saw him play high school basketball. He wasn't bad either. But at St. V, remember that jersey? There's that clip on the line. You just see Jersey in the background on the phone, and I'm sitting there. But that's my train of thought. Oh, when he got to Ohio State, he had to work his way up the ladder. But people at Ohio State, the guys that were there, they all knew he was going to be a guy eventually. It's just that he took him a little longer, and then he landed at the right spot at LSU, won the national championship after a year. First year at LSU. I remember after his first year at LSU, they said he should. You had, I think Feinbaum was up there saying he's not the guy and this blah, blah, blah. Came out the next year, bam. He was probably the greatest season ever in college football history. So, but I think he's always found a way because he's just that good. But if he ever wants to win, he needs to get the hell out of there because he is not good. You think they're really going to pay Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, Mike? Both? That guy, he won't even buy his team a Snickers bar and a Gatorade and pizza. He went through a pizza party for him. That's how that's how cheap they are. Probably the cheapest organization.
They are by far. By far, they didn't want to pay Jesse Bates. They let DJ Reader walk.
I heard somebody else recently on another podcast. It was a former player said he needs to get the hell out of town. I totally agree. He's never going to. I get you're from South Ohio, Joe. I get it, but you're not going to win there, dude. Go somewhere where they're actually at least spend more than $50. Instead of a pizza party, maybe they'll take you out to steak dinner. No. I'm serious. He needs to he's never going to win in Cincinnati. And not by his own doing. Does anybody disagree with that?
No. Hell, he had an MVP season, but
I don't think their coaches. Oh my gosh, he got Sean McVay's coffee every morning, donuts. We got to hire him. It's just like anybody that's built. What was that guy for the Andy Reid. Everybody's
Matt
hired
Nagy.
as the retread, huh?
Matt Nagy.
Yeah, Matt Nagy. Oh my gosh, he got Andy Reid his cheeseburger every day for lunch. Let's hire him. You breathe the same air of these guys. Oh, we
Right.
gotta hire him. No, you don't. They're not
All the
NFL coaches.
so-called
Sorry.
experts out there.
Yeah, let's get the new hot boy, offensive coordinator because oh my gosh, he, washed his car and scrubbed his floor mats for him and all that stuff. I mean, please. He said, "I'm sure Joe loved the Browns in the position we would put him in yearly. Well, he would like an owner to at least spend.
Yeah.
Now Jimmy,
Right. What else you gonna do with
Jimmy,
those billions?
and Jimmy's trying to spend, and Jimmy's trying to build this stadium. Now, does he spend it in the right direction? No, but he has a chance to turn it around. But he's at least trying. I think he needs to go sit down with Dan Gilbert maybe and learn how to actually, what does it take to win? Because I think Dan Gilbert's found the right formula of hiring the right people to do the job and develop. They figured it out, right? And even Dolan to an extent. I know we people poo-pooed on Dolan tonight, but Dolan has hired a really good front office that they've drafted and developed just as good as anybody. That's why they're always competitive every year.
Well, they develop better than anybody.
Payroll-wise, they can't get over the hump. Yeah, I mean, they developed. The coaching's been outstanding in Cleveland in baseball. Did I read this one? Oh, we are a 3-14 team that will likely lose 4 of its current. My screen's glitching again. Oh, we are a 3-14 team that will likely lose 4 of its current 10 best players on the roster this offseason, and a guy making decisions in our front office that doesn't like anywhere near Cleveland, and a clueless owner and GM that can't make a good offensive draft. Can't make a good offensive draft pick. That is the reality, guys.
Well, no shit, Dan. I said it 100 times.
Well, we all agree on that.
I don't like our front office. And none of this shit matters until that front office is wiped out.
No, yeah. Mike, you got anything to add to that? Well, you're higher on the front office than maybe all of us, but
I mean, I like Andrew Berry, but I don't care for Dee Podesta. I'll be the first to admit that, but I don't.
Well, that is my concern.
I don't know.
I can sit up here and say, listen, it sounds great. Shedeur with the coaching staff that we have now, with Reese and Musgrave, but I do agree that we're always going to be handicapped as long as that guy's here. He has too much power.
Yeah, no, I just like Dee Podesta, but at the end of the day, to say we have had no success in drafting offense, Jerome Ford has looked all right. I mean, he hasn't really drafted a whole lot of offensive players, to be fair. Most of the offense was already set up when Barry got here. I think it's getting to the point where he's going to have to draft some offense, but he's mainly focused on drafting defensive pieces because that was our biggest source of need for the past 2 years. And honestly, I think he has drafted well defensively. Well, it remains to be seen if and when they do make offensive draft picks with top 50, top 60 picks, which I think they will this year. I mean, we'll see. But as far as I don't know. It sounds like Joel's coming back, and if they do trade Miles, that's one. But I don't think Denzel or anybody else is leaving after that. It sounds like they're going to try and re-sign Nick Chubb to a 1 or 2 year deal. He doesn't want to leave, so I don't think that we're really going in for a rebuild or anywhere close to that. But
he said Anthony Schwartz, David Bell, Michael Woods, Jerome Ford, DTR. I'm a little higher on Jerome Ford. I think Jerome Ford has been
Jerome Ford's been a good player in here at the end of the day.
If Jerome Ford was in a better situation than he's been in the last 2 years, I think he would have people's view. But the other picks, I agree with the other ones. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I mean, and none of those picks were above pick 90. At the end of the day, those aren't high value picks. He hasn't picked offensive players generally in the top 50. He usually goes defense.
Here's what I don't know. I can't really say it's just Andrew Berry picking because who's the first guy out there? Every time they make their first selection, it's Paulie Podesta. Anthony Schwartz, seems like a hell of a Paul DePodesta pick. Oh my gosh, look at him burn down that sideline. Look at the gun. I mean, the radar gun clocked him in at 23 miles per hour. Look, we got to draft him. Right, just like what I was saying earlier about oh my gosh, he got Andy Reid his coffee every morning. We got to hire him. It's the same thing with Paul DePodesta. Oh my gosh, DTR threw the fastest football at the combine. We got to get him. Let alone that he's 5'9" and you can't see over the freaking, center. And he's not an NFL quarterback, but we got to get him. But I don't know. My whole point I don't know. Kevin especially has not had full autonomy. That's been really clear. But Andrew Berry to me is just a yes man for Paul DePodesta. That's the reason why he got the job. It was between him or George Patton. George Patton's now running the Broncos. It was reported by Charles Robinson the reason why Berry got the job mainly because he was more in the good graces of Paul DePodesta. DePodesta liked him more.
Oh yeah, well, that was even before he actually got the job. It was out there that those were his guys. That's who he wanted. He wanted them the year before.
Oh, and my whole point, when people constantly say fire Berry and Stefanski, I'm saying, well, they're not the ones you really should fire first. It's the other one. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, but it's the other guy. Nobody brings this guy up. Why is that? How come nobody in the media really barely brings this guy up like he's a non-factor? All I hear people say is, we don't really know what he does. Bullshit, you know what he does. All you got to do is just pull up the tape. I did a whole show on it with multiple clips, multiple tapes of him telling you how involved he is. The owner told you for the season how involved he is. So that's bullshit. And how come nobody brings that up?
Because the Browns control the narrative going into the media. And this guy, this asshole sits in San Diego and pulls all the strings like a puppet master and leaves everyone else out there to take the heat. But you notice when he feels like they did something good, his ass is the first one out there. The guy's a shitbag, and they need to get him out.
Sitting there talking about, oh yeah, Jed Wills he was our top guy all along. You passed on Tristan Wirfs for Jed Wills. Man, Tristan Wirfs, if he keeps this up, he looks like he'd be a Hall of Famer one day if he stays healthy. He didn't allow.
And frankly, I don't even know if I want a yes man either. I mean, if Andrew Berry is a yes man, he's willing to put up with this shit. I don't even know if I want him as my GM. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that kind of guy running the team. A yes man, a guy that's got no backbone to where he'll just sit there and he's not a leader. If number one, if he agrees with DePodesta, I certainly don't want him. And if he doesn't agree and he just keeps going on with it, I don't want him. I don't want him for that reason either.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't really know what he is. I don't really know what he is.
All I know is DePodesta he's the culprit. He's the main culprit. So I don't know what the hell Jimmy Haslam would be irrelevant if he would just butt out and hire the right guy for his front office to run the team. Everything would just be great.
Wouldn't it be something though if they draft Shedeur Sanders and that, I mean, he's going to have a little influence in the organization if he pans out after his first year, and Andrew Berry gets replaced by Louis Riddick, or maybe not Andrew Berry, but Louis Riddick comes in, who's Deion's guy, who's Deion said publicly, you need to hire this guy.
Well, you never know. Maybe. I mean, I tend to listen to, I'm not the biggest Deion fan, but I tend to listen to ex-players' opinions. Ex-players, ex-coaches. I tend to listen to their opinions before anyone else, especially these media pundits and shit. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. These idiots on TV. And, I mean, they're no more qualified than we are. You know what I mean? I tend to listen to ex-players, ex-coaches, accomplished coaches. They you know what I mean? They're the best. Why would you not listen to them? Why would you not take their opinion? You know what I mean?
He said, Kevin Stefanski's been off my radar since I saw him last year navigate the sewage of our season and found out that he was never allowed to actually coach or criticize Deshaun Watson. This is not his fault. No, it's not. And that's right. That's why I've backed off Stefanski, because I don't. I think the reason why Stefanski won this Coach of the Year is not because he was the best coach in the football, but it's because the media, people that really know what goes on behind the scenes, they were like, "Man, this dude actually led the Browns to playoffs with that all the bullshit he has put up with."
Yeah, I've been critical of him, but I watch. It seems like his players love him. So, isn't that all you ask for? You know what I mean?
I don't think we've ever seen what his full potential because of what he's been hindered by. But now that might be changing, because according to some people, they think that. I mean, Depot's only got 1 year left on his deal, and a lot of people think some people have said he's getting phased out. I know Anthony Lambert said that he heard he's getting phased out. And this is the first year, right, Mike, that Stefanski's been at the actual Shrine Bowl and Senior Bowl.
Correct.
In the 5 years he's been here, this is the first time he's actually been there in person. So to me, that says he's probably going to he may have the most power he's ever had, which I'd rather have Stefanski obviously making the decision than the people who have been. Am I right, Mike? He is his first year he's been to this stuff.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, it's his first year that both him and Andrew have been together at the Shrine Bowl or at the Senior Bowl. They were at both. It seems like it's pretty much the Kevin Stefanski show from here on out. And Depot does seem to be phased out, because generally he makes the trip with the team to the Senior Bowl, especially. And he wasn't with the team this year.
Yeah, and I don't think Deion Sanders camp would be entertaining this if DePodesta was involved. No way in hell. You think he's going to sit across the table, listen to that guy?
No.
He's going to say, "Hey, go get me a water." That's what he's going to tell him.
Right.
Go get me a water and open up your TI-84 calculator in your computer, and ask me when I ask a question, give me the answer. That's what he's going to tell him.
Right.
No, but here, my whole point though is, if Stefanski has full autonomy now, which I think he does, finally, and you look at Tommy Rees, who you brought in, you got Bill Musgrave, you draft Shedeur, there's really no excuse for it not to succeed, to be successful, in my opinion. All the ingredients are there. Do you agree with that, Jersey?
I agree.
So this is up to them now to really. We're going to find out a lot, but I don't know. It was interesting live tonight. This is part 2. So part 2.
My bad again.
No, that's all good. Accidents happen. But if you missed part 1, go listen to part 1. This is part 2 of our conversation. And yeah, we all think that Shedeur's probably going to be a Brown. I think a lot of people are thinking that behind the scenes. It's where it seems like the wind is blowing, that the Browns are leaning that direction. I think the Sanders, and I'm gonna be honest, for a long time I didn't think it would happen, because the reason why I didn't ever brought up Shedeur, because I didn't think Deion would actually let him come here. But here we are now, and it looks like it's real. So, yeah, I mean, but before we get out of here, though, do you guys got anything? You got what do I have? Did I miss any comments earlier? Hold on 1 second. If Stefanski does in fact have full say on decisions, I'm fairly sure we start a veteran free agent under center week 1, regardless of who we draft. Now, I am curious though, who would be the bridge guy you pair with Shedeur? What do you think, Mike?
I mean, I know we were kind of making fun of it, but like I do think as far as bridge options go, you could do a hell of a lot worse than Kirk Cousins. As just a pure bridge guy.
No, Mike, I'm completely okay with bringing him in for bridge purposes only.
Yeah.
I'm not. If you trade away the second pick to gather picks, if that's a philosophy you want to go with, I would then say, okay, when do you pick a quarterback? Are you just going to keep getting a new retread every year? I mean, somebody that got sat on someone else's bench. I mean, when do you do it? You know what I mean? Like who you got coming up in the pipeline in the 2026 draft. You know what I mean? Who's coming? So that's all I would say is, you know what I mean? And if you had a great solution, I might be a fan of it, but I don't see that as a possibility. So no, I'm not I like Kirk Cousins as a, you know what I mean? I think he's a good quality guy. He's made it in the NFL several years, but if that's your guy for a year and then you're going to bring another retread, I don't want to hear that shit.
Right. No, I agree with that.
So.
I think, but to answer the question, yeah, I think as a bridge, like kind of mentor kind of guy, I think Kirk Cousins would make the most sense. He's plug and play more or less. He's familiar with Kevin, and like he is a decent enough leader to the point where like seeing how he does it, I think would benefit Shedeur as well. And also, if at a certain point you do bench him and move to Shedeur as the full-time starter, having somebody on the bench with the iPad, as it were, that is familiar with Kevin's system, I think it would be invaluable for Shedeur his first year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Fields maybe is the bridge guy. I don't know why. It just something tells me that. I think it kind of reminds me like we did with Baker, because I don't know. I don't think Shedeur's to be on the bench long. At all the rookie quarterbacks, I think he's the one he's the one, in my opinion, that's going to get on the field quickest.
I agree with that.
So, I mean, maybe Jackson Dart, although I like Jackson Dart, and he was. I mean, for the Browns, I like Dart, Shedeur, or Will Howard. I don't think Cam Ward would fit. I think Cam Ward's got good upside, but I'm not as high on him as others. But Jackson Dart's very streaky. You know,
Indubitably.
I don't think he was as consistent as Shedeur was in college. That's just my opinion, but I don't know. But I think Shedeur, and plus the name itself too. I mean, obviously you don't want ownership to meddle into these decisions, but I do think Jimmy Haslam's gonna be sitting there with a little wink, kind of like, we need to get him out there immediately because it's good for TV ratings and good, it's good for business.
Right.
It's gonna be most
good for the money.
Yeah. So I don't know. I Fields to me kind of reminds me like when we brought in when we drafted Baker. Who we brought in? What was his name? The bridge guy. Tyrod Taylor. That's Tyrod Taylor. That's exactly what it reminds me.
I will tell you this: if that kid becomes the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns are picking up a lot more fans. There'll be people that will be Browns fans, just for that reason, because it's like a cult following that they have. You know what I mean? If you say anything wrong about the Sanders, I mean, people get pissed. So
they come after you.
Yeah, there's a lot more fandom they'll pick up because of that, and that shit matters. I mean, we don't want to, we don't care about that, but it's their business. That's what they do, and that's part of it. So it's money. So and it puts them on TV more. So
Paramchant said, "It's about Shedeur. I know for a fact he would have got Odell the ball, unlike Baker."
We could see the guy at least.
Right. The cat agrees.
Yeah,
talk about somebody holding the ball for a long time.
Well, wait a minute. Now he's not like that now as much. But
I know.
Yeah, I know you mean Baker. Well, I don't put it all on him.
I used to yell that about him like somebody's looking at concrete shoes.
Yeah. He said, "Is it true that Shedeur's draft package is also reaching for, or wait, hold on, here we go. Is it true that part of Shedeur's draft package is also reaching for Shiloh, one of his receivers as well?" Allegedly, that's a rumor. I mean, I saw that. But I do think you would have to take one of his receivers. He said you got to take one receiver. I think he would prefer if you take his brother. Now his brother, I don't think is. I mean, if you're talking about like a late round pick, I mean, the Browns have a couple 7th round picks or 6th round picks.
Yeah, we have a ton of 6th round picks.
I don't think Shiloh's a bad pick. I mean, Shiloh does a lot of things well, actually. In terms, he's a hard hitter. He's got a good nose for the ball.
He can be a good special teams player. You pick up a 6th round special teams player.
I think it's a solid. It's a okay pick in the late round. I don't have a problem with it. And now any of his receivers, I like any of his receivers. I like all of them. I like Will Shepherd. I like Jimmy Horn. I think the Wester kid was pretty good. Obviously Travis, but he's going high. But they could probably use a Will Shepherd or a Jimmy Horn, maybe, or Wester. I think they need more depth at receiver, but I don't know if that's a true thing. But I'm sure it's. Could I see Jimmy Haslam telling them that he would do that? Absolutely, because I think Jimmy Haslam. I mean, he gave a guy $230 million fully guaranteed. When Jimmy Haslam wants something, he can do whatever it takes to get it.
Right.
You know why he can do that? Because he's a billionaire and he owns a team.
Yeah. Exactly. What's that mean? Because
he's got FU money.
Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be interesting though. But yeah, we'll have more coverage of this. Obviously, Mike, we're getting close to the draft each and every day. I know that's your favorite night of the year, Mike.
Yes, it is.
Draft. And we're three of us have been brainstorming some stuff of what we're gonna do that night. We want to do something really special for you guys, and that night we're gonna be live. It's gonna be a big night for the Browns, and we're brainstorming some things, so make it a good night. That night we'll all have fun and react to the draft. So stay tuned for that. But you guys, anything you want to add here? Go Cavs! I mean,
go Cavs! Hell yeah!
Won the skills competition. We won the skills contest. The Cavs. Darius almost won the 3-point contest. He had a good outing, but he just fell a few short. But anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah, get out and go watch some high school basketball. Games start. Tournament starts this week, and I'm gonna go watch this kid from Garfield.
Yeah, he's for real.
And I'm gonna watch this kid. So great game down in Canton. Best player in the country, Darren Peterson from the Akron area, won CBCA. Coming in to play St. V Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? I think Tuesday. Fieldhouse.
Thursday night.
Oh, Thursday night? I thought it was Tuesday night.
Thursday night.
I think it's Tuesday, the 18th.
Is it? I thought it was. I can't remember. I got my dates mixed up.
Yeah, go enjoy some high school ball.
Is it Tuesday night? Oh yeah, it is Tuesday night at 8:30. It's a late one. I think there'll be live streamed it though, so we can all watch it. So that'd be good. Yeah, shout out to Darren. Interesting times ahead for Browns Nation as always. Good show, guys. Oh, appreciate you.
Love you, Danny boy.
We love you, Dan. We love the debates. But stay tuned for the fix as well. I'm sure that I know those guys will be back soon. They're cooking up some stuff, some ideas. Dan's been brainstorming a lot, so I can't wait to see that. Love watching that show. And Mike, you got Professional Fan Week back this week. I know you've been off for a little bit, Mike, but you'll be back finally this week. Your fandom is waiting for you.
Yes, we had to get a bunch of info together for the defensive end class because it's so big, such a big and exciting class. Defensive ends.
You got to get some info.
Had to get some info, some insight.
Info warrior.
Added to my lexicon, dude.
You're an info warrior.
My lexicon.
There are demons inside of the NFL draft. We got to work them out. They're reptilians from another higher plane of existence than us, projecting onto the hologram that is in our universe, and we have to get them out. It's what we got to do. We got to fix it. We gotta root out the core systems that AI is progressing into the Cleveland Browns. We got to work it out so that the chemical compounds don't affect the high fructose corn syrup in our food supply. You don't understand. They're invading my dreams. I want them out of my life.
Oh boy. Fix update. Browns currently 50-1 to make the Super Bowl. There are 32 NFL teams. Smiley face. Yeah,
that hurts my throat doing that voice.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where these lines all go up after the draft and stuff because they always fluctuate. But here, I mean, they earned that, so ain't no doubt about that. But they got a chance to fix it starting now. So, and the combines in a couple weeks too, so that'd be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, you guys want to tell me to like, subscribe, and share? You want to tell them why, Mike?
You got to like, subscribe, and share because we're an independent show. A couple of guys that love sports and want to share our love of that with as many people as possible. So if you enjoy this content and you've been chatting with us or just silently watching wherever you're watching from, we want to thank you very, very much. But please like, subscribe, and share this content. It helps us grow the show, and it's free. So, yeah.
Jersey, you got anything to add to that?
There's the same thing Mike said. This is a show where, it's not, there's nobody controlling what's talked about. We're not on anyone's payroll. For me, it's just having a great time with my friends, my son, first and foremost, and be a part of my son growing this thing he's passionate about. So, please do. Hopefully you do like it. If you think there's something we could do better, share your comments with Joseph. Let him know. And because that's what it's about. I know that's what it's about for him. He wants the fans or anyone who watches it, people to subscribe. He wants them involved. He wants them to have a voice. So, but have a great week and see you next week, or maybe possibly middle of the week.
Yeah, it's true. Like, subscribe, share all that good stuff, and I'm saluting. Mike, are you saluting? I'm out.
I am saluting.
All right, we're out of here.
Later.